What is up, farming family? How y'all doing today? Today, we're out here in these cow fields with Pinky the bull and my other calf I raised off a bottle. We're checking out the PIKKL Vantage Pro, the 16 millimeter and the 14 millimeter. This is the paddle or the company that Tyra Black and Gabe Tardio are under. I have a code for them. It's Farmer Lanky Pickleball. You'll get a pair of their stretch laces, which is a $10 value. You'll get it with, the purchase of a paddle. And I will have a tutorial or a YouTube short basically showing how to, install them. I've been using them on my pickleball shoes lately, and it makes slipping on my shoes so much easier. But yeah, you'll get that if you use my code. Just remember that. And also, I talked to the owner on the phone, and it was a really long talk, probably the longest I've talked to a paddle company owner. And they seem to extremely be invested in pickleball and really love the sport. And he comes off as a really good dude. So I feel like if you have warranty problems, I feel like his company is going to be a company that you could probably trust in terms of warranty claims. But let's get into this review. I hope y'all been doing good. Let's start with the pop of this paddle. Okay, the pop of the 16 millimeter somewhat reminds me of the Valère Forza Mach 1. Like, it's more on the plush side compared to the double black diamonds and the stiffer face paddles that I've played with, in the past. So in terms of pop, it's not crazy poppy or anything. So you don't have to worry about it launching off the face and you not being able to, maintain it or control it. But then the 14 millimeter has a little bit more pop, but it still doesn't quite have the pop as some of the other 14 millimeters, like the double black diamond 14 millimeter or the Vatic Flash 14 millimeter. So if you're wanting a 14 millimeter that's got a little less pop than them, but more pop than other 16 millimeters, the 14 millimeter might be a little bit better option for you. So this is a 16.25 inch paddle, which classifies it technically as a hybrid shape. So I would put the power, even though it's a hybrid, I think it has more power than all the other hybrid shapes, like the double black diamond, the Rhombus R1 Pulsars, the Vatic Flash. It's got a little more power than them, but it doesn't quite have the power that the, pure elongated paddles have, which to me is not a problem because it makes the swing weight a little bit lighter, so that definitely helps. And then when it comes to the 14 millimeter does not have the power that the 16 millimeter does. It's got a little bit less, it has a little bit more pop, little less power, but if you apply a decent amount of lead tape to it, you can get a plow through on it, similar to the 16. Not exactly up to the 16, but you'll get enough power out of it if you put lead tape. Just know you will need to put lead tape though to be able to get the power you're wanting out of it. In terms of control, you heard how I said that it had the pop similar to the Valère Mach 1 Forza. The control's somewhat similar too. This isn't going to be like the most plush, most controllable, softest paddle that you've used, but this also isn't going to be stiff like the double black diamond where it's launching off the face and you'll have to dial it in. If you have used other Gen 2 raw carbon fiber paddles and you go to this one will be a very easy convert for you. So if someone's coming from a Gen 1 paddle, this is also one that I could easily recommend because I feel like people can control this one better than the double black diamond or the Vatic Flash. Now, with the 14 millimeter, you will have the focus a little bit more. The 14 millimeter's got a little bit more pop, so you have the focus and concentrate more when you're doing your dinks, your drops and stuff like that, and your resets and blocks as well. I generally prefer 16 millimeters because 14s are a little less controllable, and the way the ball bounces off the paddle feels completely different, and I'm more familiar with the way it feels and the trajectory from 16 millimeters. But a 14 millimeter wise, it's not like uncontrollable at all. You can control it. You're just going to have to play a couple games to get used to it. In terms of spin, I feel it gets crazy good spin. I use the R3 Pulsar, or I used to use it a lot more than I do now. And when I went to it and I switched between the two, you can't tell a difference. Like, the spin is really good on this paddle. I feel like with most of these Gen 2 paddles though, you aren't going to be coming out and being like, a spin's bad on them, because I haven't played with one where the spin was, garbage. Most of these raw carbon fiber Gen 2 paddles put crazy good spin on the ball. So that's nothing to complain about. And then when it comes to the 14 millimeter, it got even better spin than the 16 millimeter. Now, if you're wanting a paddle with spin, the thinner ones do get a little more, spin than the 16 millimeter. So just remember that. if you can control the little extra poppiness, the extra spin, you get from the 14 millimeter, could be worth it. The PIKKL 14 millimeters swing weight is 113, and the overall weight of it was 8 ounces. Honestly, I wouldn't focus on the ounces. I would focus on the overall swing weight. 113 is pretty light. You can apply some lead tape to that and be able to add some plow through on top of the pop. So overall, the 14 millimeter swing weight wise is really, really good. The swing weight for the 16 millimeter is 117. So that's still technically in the range of the hybrid shapes, even though it doesn't have the shape as the double black diamond, the Vantage Flash. Those seem to have a little bit lighter swing weight, just by 1 or 2 points. Not even going to be enough for you to actually tell a difference. So the swing weight's still pretty good on this, especially compared to elongated paddles, who are generally a little bit heavier. And the overall weight of this one was 8.2 ounces. Once again, don't worry about the weight. The twist weights on these, or the 16 millimeter was 6.5, and on the 14 millimeter, it was 6.2. Okay, when I first got them and I did the test before I measured them and put them up against other paddles, and I was like, holy moly, these are some crazy good stats for elongated paddles. I was like, this is crazy. Then I measured it, and then I looked against other paddles, and I was like, whoa, I was like, wait, this is a hybrid shape. I was like, okay, this is where the sweet spot should be, and where, the swing weight and the twist weight should be. But we're gonna get to that in a minute. So after seeing the numbers, I was like, okay, this makes more sense as to why these numbers are like this. It falls in line as a hybrid shape. So just remember that. But in terms of the sweet spot, it has a really good sweet spot. Like, if you hit the ball at the very far edges, you're gonna feel it die off. But if you're remotely to the center, you're gonna get a lot of force, or what you put into the ball, back. It's not going to twist in your hand and cause the shot to be, weak or less stable. You're going to have stability with the sweet spots, basically what I'm saying, at least with the 16 millimeter. Now, when you go to the 14 millimeter, you're going to have to apply some lead tape to basically make the sweet spot bigger on it, which that's pretty much how it is with all the thinner paddles, and people generally put lead tape on it. So I'm basically just regurgitating what you all already do. But yeah, $140. I feel like these are perfectly priced, to be honest. And you get a pair of the stretch laces, which I'm liking right now, by the way. I have 2 pairs of them. I'm still on the first pair, and I'm hoping that I can just keep using those and no other shoes, because I got tired of tying my shoes. I am lazy. Oh man, but I hope y'all enjoyed this. I hope y'all are staying safe, drinking plenty of water, enjoyed the cattle. Peace, y'all. Hey guys, you are in the video. You know it? You're in the video. Oh, you'll let me pet you, won't you? I raised you.